Hello, and welcome to episode 400, Play the Fanfare. Now, normally, I mean, if things hadn't have happened, I was maybe done, I don't know, maybe a Robert Fripp primer or something like that, or this would have been, space would have been maybe occupied by a King Crimson album, because normally when I get to the double zeros, I usually look back at albums I really like, so this is why I'm doing wrong way around, very professional, Night Song by Nusrat, Fateh Ali Khan and Michael Brook, which is probably one of my favourite albums of all time. Right, that's it. I think we're done. Thank you for watching episode 400. My name's been Darren Locke. Only one more thing to say, and that's Prog on. What you mean I've actually got to do a review? Can't we just leave it at that? They won't mind. They know I like it. I've talked about it before. Anyway, this was released back in 1996, February the 20th, day before my birthday. Who'd have thought it? And it's the second album collaboration between Michael Brook, the Canadian guitarist, who's worked with Brian Eno and U2 and all sorts of amazing people. He makes his money now doing soundtrack albums. But he done that amazing Cobalt Blue recording I've talked about. It's a shame because no one's going to probably watch this. They'll look at the title and go, and it's a real shame because you should listen. People should. They would all be clicking on the Pink Floyd one, which is the previous one, and they won't listen to this one. And that's what annoys me because, you have all these subscribers and they only click on, oh right, Pink Floyd or Yes or whatnot. And really, they should be clicking on this so they can go and explore this album, because this album is really, really cool. It's a really cool album. Why do I like it? I like the previous album, Must. Again, because it's a fusion of Eastern and Western sensibilities. Again, it's just that notion of progressive music, of music pushing forward, taking various styles and going forward. And so for me, this is the culmination of that. Michael Brook he's given instruction to make a second album, and he's got loads of recordings of Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, multi-track recordings. There's a great article on the Google. If you search Michael Brook Sound on Sound, you can read all about it. But what Michael Brook had is he had all these multi-tracks to play with, and he sat down and he meticulously, bit by bit, constructed each song and each part of this album using multi-tracks and then overdubbing his instrumentation over the top of it and creating something new. And again, this is before computer digital editing. This is all done kind of manually back in the day. Really hard job. If you read the article, even Michael Brook said he must have been crazy to do it, but he did it, and he was a bit worried about it because you've got to remember that Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan is singing. He's a Qawwali singer from Pakistan, and so he sings these songs of religion about Allah and whatnot. And Michael Brook doesn't understand Pakistani, so he just chops up. He uses Nusrat's voice as an instrument, and so he just cuts up his voice and cuts and pastes the vocals down. And he's worried that he's turned these great songs into gibberish. But when he plays it to Nusrat, he thinks this is brilliant because, again, Nusrat was very forward-thinking, very progressive player, and he just thought it was really, a new use of his voice. And again, it's very great to hear about it via that interview. It's a great interview, and so this is what you have with this album. It's a real fusion. I hate using the word fusion, but it is. It's a real mishmash, which is kind of a not as posh word as fusion, of ideas here. So you've got this, like I said, this very ethnic Qawwali singing and instrumentation, like the tabla and the harmonium. You've got all that going on, but then you've got Michael Brook coming to the proceedings with his infinite guitars and electronic percussions and basses. Got Mick Kahn on bass, which might be interesting. And overdubbing their stuff on top of this, and it becomes something quite unique and different. And again, because there's no words, it's all down to there are words, but I don't understand them. But it's all about the music. I find this music and Nusrat's voice, I find it is a pure experience. And for me, this is what I call food. This is food for my soul. And it's just one of those albums. If I'm down or I need a boost or a pick me up, I can listen to this. And the combination of Brook, because I love Michael Brook, and I love Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, and in this great music coming together is just, it's transcendental for me. It just, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. It still does it to me all these years on, and I can't explain. I just can't explain the effect the album has on me. And I just think it is a work of absolute brilliance. It just takes me away. And I can get lost in it. I get lost in the music. And yeah, I mean, it's not going to be for everyone. But if you like kind of, it's hard to pigeonhole. It's electronic. It's got guitars. But it's got this Indian tabla pulse going through it. Oh man, it's just a great piece of experimental music, and the likes of which you'll never hear again. Yeah, you'll hear some bands doing this kind of dub, Indian dub thing going, but it's just the way this was created and put together. It could never exist any other way. It's a unique creation. I think they reissued it a couple of years back, because it's on the Real World label even. And so Peter Gabriel, in his great wisdom, has reissued it, because you can pick up copies of this for pennies if you go second hand. But I do. Every man, Jack of you who's watching this, I do urge you to go and check this one out. Go and listen to it. And there's also a remix album called Star Rise, where various Indian and Pakistani artists remix the tracks. It's okay. It'll do. I'm not a big fan of remixes, but it's a sort of a companion album to this. So you might want to check that one out as well. But yeah, I mean, it certainly is the most experimental of Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan's albums, and is just an amazing piece of production work from Michael Brook himself. And it is my job to preach it up, to preach to you. And if I can get one person to be turned on by this record, then I've succeeded. And this is why this deserves to be Prog Review 400. And if anybody asks, what's your favourite album? It's probably this one. It's going to always be this one. In all the years, it hasn't changed. Yeah, there's all these other ones. There's all the others, but this is special. And I can't explain why. And that's what makes music so intriguing. Because you'll have a special album. Each one of us, every single one of us, will have a special album that you can't explain the appeal. It just somehow clicks. And for me, this is that album. And I don't expect you to like it immediately, but just think about how it was constructed, how it was put together, and the idea of the voice as an instrument. And I guarantee you'll come away from this a little bit more enriched. You might not like it, but you ought to go, wow, that was an experience. So anyway, that's it. I've gurgled and burbled and warbled along enough. My name's been Darren Lock. I've been talking about Night Song. the second album between Michael Brook, the co-production between Michael Brook and Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, the great Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, and I urge you to check it out. Now I'm going to do the old blurb. Remember to this video, stick it right up, and don't forget to book. There's the sit on my Facebook. You can do that. You can tick on my Twitter, and there's the Google Plus, which I don't know. Is it worth mentioning anymore? Who knows? Who knows? But there's a Google Plus thing as well. That's the social media. That's so you can follow me, get all the juice, all the dirt on me. What I'm doing. When I'm baking cakes and taking photos of said cakes and posting pictures. Social media, very good. Twitter's where it's at though. What else is there? There's also the music. Where would I be without the amazing contribution I've made to the world of music? Hard to say that without laughing. So check out music.darrenlock.com. It's a Bandcamp thing, and you can listen to everything I've done. Well, not everything, because there's some things there that's missing. But there's things you can listen to stuff, and you can also give me money for the music. And what a weird concept that you actually pay for music, but you can do that there if you so wish. Of course, there's also the Patreon. Again, that's another weird concept. It's patreon.com/lock, L-O-C-K, and that's another odd one where you give me money and I create content that you watch and enjoy, but you give me money to do it. Now, it's weird. Was you so used to getting it for free? It's just, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? The idea of paying for stuff. I know, it's just nuts. But, you might feel like throwing some pennies my way to keep the old prog review train a-rolling. So that's it. This has been episode 400. I hope you've enjoyed it. It'll only get, 200 views because it's not one of the big bands, and that's a shame. But we've got to open our minds and try new things. And I urge you to try Night Song. That's it. 400. It's the next 400. Only one more thing to say, and that is 2 thumbs. Prog on.